so hi to everybody here using the video as well. Welcome to Stretch and Snooze. We're going to start sort of close to the ground, lying down. So, I like to do this first practice lying with my belly on the floor, sort of turning my head to one side and just getting comfy, sort of belly down. But you don't have to be in that position. If you know that's not a nice position for you, feel free to lie on your back or your side or sit. We can adapt it all. Let me just check. Oh, poor Armand. I'm sorry to hear that, Kathy. Oh, I hope he feels better soon. Oh, yeah. Send him my best wishes. From me and Ali, the big hairy dog. So yes, as usual, Ali is demonstrating. So you just lie down in your most comfortable position. It doesn't have to be on your belly. What a good boy he is. He's very good at yoga. So yeah, whatever position you choose, when you get there, see if you can make yourself really comfortable. Okay. Well, that didn't last long. I'll let him out. Off you go. Good boy. So I'm just taking the opportunity as you begin to just really notice how you're doing, how you're feeling. Noticing perhaps also how your breathing is. Just noticing how it is as you begin. And it can take a bit of time, but hopefully as you begin to settle, your breath might relax a little bit as well. So maybe take some special attention to sort of the organs of breathing, and beginning with the nose, really noticing your nose, and if you're holding on to any sort of unconscious tension in your nose. So noticing if you're scrunching your nose or if you're flaring your nostrils, and see if you can really encourage the nose to relax. It's not something you can imagine. You know, it's not the first thing that you think of as hold a place to hold tension in the body, but I think we can hold tension in our noses. Well, I think I do. So really noticing if you're scrunching or flaring. And as the nose relaxes, notice the breath becomes quieter and softer. We have a full moon today, so wherever you are in the world, being aware that the moon is full today on Monday. I'm not sure the exact time, but around about now the moon is full. So just with that awareness, wherever you are in the world, checking in with your body physically, physiologically, mentally, emotionally. And if you bring your awareness all the way down to deep inside your pelvis, and I thought we might do a little bit of chakra work today, just because I've been doing quite a lot of it recently and it's been helping me. So starting with the root chakra, Muladhara chakra means root chakra, deep inside the pelvic floor. If you, in whichever position you're in, just become aware of the buttocks and the back of the pelvic floor. And if you take a breath in, and as you breathe out, as you exhale, squeezing the pelvic floor and at the back, the buttocks and the anus. And as you inhale, releasing. We're not going to do many, so just for the half a dozen or so that you do, see if you can be really kind of mindful of what you're doing, squeezing the buttocks, squeezing from deep in the muscles all the way to the skin. As you breathe in, relax, and then exhale, go again. Maybe just do one more, and then if you breathe in and relax, and for some people it's important to have a few breaths just to really release. So stay here longer if you need, and when you're ready, if you're comfortable to, rolling over onto your back if you're not already there. And if you can have your feet flat and your legs bent, maybe have the feet wide and the knees knocking together. And if you focus on the front of the pelvic floor, so kind of the urinary area, and if when you're ready to begin again, breathe in, and again as you exhale, if you squeeze the knees and squeeze into the inner thighs and the groins and the urinary area, and then inhale and relax. And again, just doing half a dozen or so, exhaling, squeezing around the pubic bones, the urinary area, inhaling and relaxing. So as you do these squeezes and releases, remember that the chakra in the pelvic, deep in the pelvis, is Muladhara, and it means root. So it's associated with stability, and obviously, you know, our pelvic floor hopefully brings us stability. You know, it's like the floor or the foundation underneath our organs. So it's like the ground beneath our feet in a way. So if you breathe in and relax and maybe just take a couple of breaths just to rest. The root chakra is associated with the element of earth. So if you think of it also as, like the ground beneath us that provides us, hopefully, with stability. Not just physically, but even more than that. But just now, if you're comfortable to stretch your legs along the ground, but again, it doesn't really matter. You could do this in any position, so it's quite nice to do it in different positions. So, just in whichever position is best for you, see if you can focus in between the urinary and the anus, the sort of area in between, and take a breath in, and as you exhale, see if you can squeeze in the area in between the front and the back. So as you breathe in, you relax, and as you exhale, you squeeze. And so yes, it's thought that Muladhara chakra, as well as providing us with physical stability, can bring us, or it's thought that it's affected by things that can bring us instability in life. So I think probably 3 of those main things are home issues, money issues, and health issues. Those 3 things can really pull the rug out from underneath us at times. So just being aware of the energetic aspect of the pelvic floor work. So if you maybe just breathe in and relax, and then just let the pelvic floor rest as you breathe. See if you can maybe remember the beauty of the earth in the world. I mean, in the north of England at the moment, it's just so beautiful. The spring blossom this year has been so beautiful. I'm sure some of you will have noticed. So just remembering the beauty of the earth that supports us, in a deep way, and see if you can see that beauty in yourself, allowing grace and recognition to flow in your root system so that you can become strong again. And I do think that just recognizing that is enough. You don't have to have a fabulous pelvic floor, thankfully. So, if you roll onto your sides and make your way up to sitting, and see how you go again. You might sit on your left hip with your knees and your feet kind of close together, or if it's okay for you to bring the knees further apart so your left foot is by your right knee, So you're wonky, you're sitting on your left hip and your right hip is probably off the ground. See how one of those feels. Maybe bring the left hand onto the ground as well. And if you, just when you're ready, turn to look over your left shoulder. So you your left hip stays on the ground, but the right hip moves forwards as you twist. And if you breathe in and then breathe out and sit back down, and see if you can begin to flow. So inhaling, twisting, exhaling, sitting the right hip down. Let the right hip move forwards as you breathe in, as you twist. And as you move in this way, being aware of your sacrum, so the fused vertebrae at the back of your pelvis. And being aware, sensing into this area around the sacrum, around the lower belly, and kind of the space in between. So it's a bit higher up above the pelvic floor. And this is the location of Svadhisthana chakra, the second chakra, and it's associated with water. So see if you can let this movement be flowing, watery, continuous. Svadhisthana means dwelling place. So see if you can allow your awareness to really dwell inside the sacral lower belly area above the pelvic floor. Svadhisthana is thought to bring us happiness, pleasure, enjoyment, freedom. So even in the midst of health, financial, home issues, or anything else that might be going on, do you also have access to beauty, grace, pleasure, freedom? So if you maybe swap to the other side, so you're sitting on your right hip, leaning into the right hand, breathing in, turning, twisting, breathing out, sitting back down. So we may have issues of health, money, home issues, a million other things. But in amongst that, are you also able to connect to beauty, to creativity, to grace? if you release, and maybe coming down again, if that's okay, if you come down onto your back and if you can, have your legs bent, your feet flat, and if you can, having your arms out to the sides. You could bend your elbows, kind of in a cactus position, but if that's a bit too tight, just straighten the arms straight out, just so that there's a bit more opening around the chest area. And if you bring the awareness to the solar plexus, so the top of the abdomen, kind of just that soft area, kind of just around about the lower, just below the lower ribs. So above the navel, the upper abdomen. Feeling into this area, the solar plexus. And this chakra is known as Manipura chakra, which means city of gems. And so in this position, if you are okay to, if you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, if you do a hissing sound like this, and if you do a hiss, focusing on the solar plexus, and see if you can squeeze into the solar plexus. So seeing if you can find the muscles in the upper abdomen by hissing, and as you hiss, squeeze those muscles so the upper abdomen becomes firm. And so Manipura chakra, the solar plexus, means city of gems, and it's associated with the element of fire. I'm just trying to find a way of putting it more in a nutshell. I like to think of the city of gems being the digestive organs, so the liver, the gallbladder, the kidneys, the adrenals, the stomach, the spleen, the pancreas, all of these jewels deep inside of us, and how you can imagine how when we're not so well, or just through time and life, they slowly become dull. Like if you imagine a jewel kind of becomes more dull. So seeing if you can imagine as you hiss and squeeze into the solar plexus that you're kind of polishing the gems inside so that they can gleam again. Maybe if you just do one more hiss and then perhaps just relax. Relax the breath, relax your arms, relax the effort. And maybe bringing the awareness up to the fourth chakra, the heart, or the heart space, Anahata chakra. And maybe just very briefly, if you just let your fingertips rest over the heart space, softening your ears that you could listen in to your heart. Anahata means unstruck sound. So the heart whispers to us in a way, but in a way that we don't hear external sounds necessarily. So we've trained our ears to listen to the sounds around us. So see if you can train your ears to listen to the whispers of the heart. And perhaps if you make yourself comfortable, we'll take this into a nidra practice. So you could stay where you are, you could change your position, see if you can just make sure that you come into the most comfortable position for you. Just so that you can not be distracted by any niggles or... So just make yourself comfy. And as you settle again, take as much time as you need, but as you settle, again, see if you can pay special attention to your nose. That I can imagine there'll be some of us here with hay fever. Yeah, so hard, isn't it? So yeah, if you have hay fever and your nose is all streaming and blocked and you're having to blow it and sniff and all of that, just don't worry about it. Just, let the relaxing your nose thing go. But if you're lucky enough to not have hay fever, then yeah, see if you can let the nose relax, so that the breath can become quiet and gentle. And if you're having to breathe through your mouth because of hay fever or for any other reason, again, just let the breath settle so that it becomes quiet and light. And if you again relax your ears, your inner ears especially, that you can begin to turn your awareness inwardly, peacefully, listening inwardly. Same with the eyes, relax the eyes, that you can turn your gaze inwardly. To the heart space. Maybe imagining your heart nestled in between your lungs, and know that as we breathe in, our lungs kind of envelop the heart, and as we breathe out, the lungs kind of recede, deflate, revealing the heart. So with this awareness, see if you can gently breathe into the heart space. Breathe out. Imagine the lungs revealing the heart, allowing the heart to soften. If you feel a yawn or a sigh brewing, just let it happen. Inhaling into the heart space, exhaling and softening the heart space. And then bringing the awareness down again to deep within the pelvis, feeling all the way down to the pelvic floor, and just allowing, as my teenage son and lodger make lots of noise in the background. I don't know if the microphone picks that up. Hopefully it's quiet and peaceful in your space, that you may peacefully bring your awareness to your pelvic floor. Just allowing the pelvic floor to become quiet and still. And then seeing if you can stay aware of the pelvic floor, but at the same time become aware of the sacral area. So can you feel both the pelvic floor and the sacrum at the same time? And then gently moving the awareness up again, this time to the area around the spine that is level with your solar plexus. So feeling the solar plexus at the front, the upper abdomen, but going behind the solar plexus into the spine, kind of in the middle of the back. Can you feel that part of the spine almost intuitively Can you sense almost intuitively an area in the spine level with the solar plexus that could maybe be the region, the vicinity of this Manipura chakra, city of gems, and see if you can feel this point in the spine at the same time as the sacrum, at the same time as the pelvic floor. And then allowing the awareness to move up again into the heart chakra, anahata chakra, the unstruck sound. So again, just almost intuitively sensing into the heart space, the seed of the sacred heart. Can you feel deep inside the heart space, and at the same time feel Manipura, the city of gems, in the spine, level with the solar plexus, Svadhisthana in the sacrum, dwelling place, Muladhara deep in the pelvis, the root chakra. Can you feel connect into all four at the same time? I don't know if you can sense into, intuitively feel how the chakras can be a very healing practice. So just sensing into the therapeutic healing capacity of your body when you align yourself to your center, to your core. So resting in this space, this healing space, feel the breath quietly rising and falling.